rise in the House to speak about April 30th Journey to Freedom Day. First introduced 2 years ago in Canada's Senate by Senator No, Journey to Freedom Day is a day to commemorate the exodus of Vietnamese refugees and celebrates their acceptance into Canada 42 years ago. It is a day that acknowledges those refugees who were lost to illness, malfeasance, or the cruelty of the turbulent ocean. It is also a day with a deep sense of hope for those who became Canadian and a strong sense of pride for those who helped make that happen. It is an honor to have all MPPs for the second time wearing the scarves representing Vietnamese freedom and heritage. The scarf was designed based on the Vietnamese heritage and freedom flag, which symbolizes the enduring strength of the Vietnamese people. This Saturday, April 29th, we will be raising the freedom flag here at Queen's Park. First time ever in a provincial legislature. The community is very much looking forward to it. Mr. Speaker, I hope my colleagues from all parties will join me in celebrating Journey to Freedom Day. Thank you.
The Vietnamese conflict was at its core a struggle for democracy. Today, there are a significant number of Vietnamese Canadians who have chosen to make this great country of ours their new home. And now Canada is home to a vibrant community of close to 300,000 Vietnamese Canadians, many of which reside in my riding of Humber River Black Creek. The Vietnamese Canadian community has made a substantial contribution to our culture, religious, political, and business life. And I am tremendously proud to know many as friends, colleagues, and supporters. And today, for the very first time, the Vietnamese Heritage and Freedom flag has been raised alongside the Canadian flag on Parliament Hill. And I am delighted to wish the Vietnamese community great success for all of those who mark this special occasion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, on April 30th, Canada's Vietnamese community marked the third annual Journey to Freedom Day. Enacted under our previous Conservative government, it's a national day of commemoration of the exodus of Vietnamese refugees from their war-torn country and their acceptance into Canada after the fall of Saigon to the Communists on April 30th, 1975. Millions of refugees, known as boat people, fled their homeland to make the perilous journey to freedom. Many thousands perished at sea. However, for over 60,000 refugees, Canada proved to be safe haven. In the spirit of Canada's 150th anniversary, marking this year's Journey to Freedom Day, I'm proud to again wear the colors of freedom and to recognize the contributions of Vietnamese Canadians and of all boat people refugees and their descendants who came to Canada in search of hope, opportunity, and freedom.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great honor and pride that I underscore April 30th to commemorate the welcome to Vietnamese refugees in Canada. This is a historic day. For the first time, the flag of freedom was raised before Parliament.
After the war. Today we remember their journey and difficulties that they endured to come to live in this country.
My family fled Vietnam and lived in a refugee camp in Indonesia for 18 months before arriving in Quebec. Over the past 30 years, my parents made many sacrifices so that my brothers, sisters, and I can flourish in freedom and liberty. This wasn't done without difficulty, but Quebecers and Canadians accepted my parents, my community. I'm proud of these values of liberty and solidarity that are pillars of our society. I will continue to protect human rights.
And the next will continue to welcome refugees, to accept them and support them.
Thank you, Mr. Speakers. Honorable Senators, I rise today in commemoration of the annual Journey to Freedom Day, which was marked for the third time on April 30th. This day commemorates the perilous journey of countless Vietnamese refugees made to escape communist oppression after the Fall of Saigon, April 30th, 1975. At that time, hundreds of thousands of the Vietnamese refugees fled to the sea in search of freedom. But over 60,000 brave refugees were welcomed into Canada with open arms and thanks to the private sponsorship program. These new Vietnamese Canadian citizens have made Canada their home thanks to that generosity. This year is a historic one for the Vietnamese Canadian community. Our values are embodied in the yellow and red stripe Vietnamese Freedom and Heritage 150th anniversary of the Confederation. Parliamentarians mark the occasion by wearing scarves adorned with the color of freedom for the first time in both the House Commons yesterday and in the Senate today, and in honor of Canada's humanitarian tradition. Thank you.